Peach, we gotta switch gears and talk about NFL. We had the combine this past weekend. A lot of nice young talent coming in, and a team that's maybe looking to add some young talent who's fallen short these last few years. When I say few, I mean like 35. But the Dallas Cowboys, right? America's team.
They love their Cowboys, man.
They do, bro, but they've been coming up short. I think these last couple years with the talent that they've had, a lot of people expected the Cowboys to take that next step, right? With guys like Michael Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, at the cornerback position. A couple years ago, he had like 11 interceptions or something crazy like that, right? You got a guy like Dak Prescott, who everybody wants to anoint a top 5 quarterback, it seems, but he keeps shooting himself in the foot year in and year out. CeeDee Lamb, who's the number 1 receiver. I think he's super talented. Then they had that dual backfield. They had the 1-2 punch with Tony Pollard, who's a Pro Bowl player. And then you got Zeke, who may be on his way out the door. So I'll let you take this over to start. What you think about the Cowboys, bro?
Like you was laying it out, bro. I feel like on paper, this team should have already had a Super Bowl berth. Not necessarily a win, but at least get in there. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do a threat running back. You want to go power, you go with Zeke. You want to go more finesse, you go with Tony Pollard. Then you got CeeDee Lamb. You got Michael Gallup. You got Dalton Schultz. You got I think Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback in the league.
You think he's top 10?
I think he's top 10 when healthy.
Yeah.
Maybe more towards 9 and 10, but I think he's the top 10 when healthy.
Real quick.
What you think, 11, 12?
I don't want to get off. Yeah, I think I used to think he was top 10, bro, but I can just go through it. I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about careers, but I can go through Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert, Lamar, Trevor Lawrence.
And then it gets sticky.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
That's 7, right? That's 7. No, it's more. I'm missing them. Give me Aaron Rodgers, right? I mean, Aaron Rodgers still in the league.
I feel like you could argue Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady at this point in their careers.
Well, Tom Brady's up good, bro, but I'm going Aaron Rodgers, bro, over Dak, bro.
Okay.
Like, I'm still going to put some respect on Aaron Rodgers.
We're still 9-10. So who you going to throw over?
Nah, bro, it's some...
Who you forget?
Hold on, bro. Because right now, my thinking cap ain't on, but... Hold on, real fast.
Yeah, I want you to get that. But I was saying, then you got a very stout defense with Micah Parsons. You have a Trevon Diggs at the cornerback spot. They're solid, bro. I just feel as though they have these mistakes and these meltdowns in the playoffs that are kind of like uncalled for. They have yet to put together a full package playoff run. They do all this shit in the regular season, which is nice. But we all knows that the best football is played after Thanksgiving.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
It's just, I don't know what direction that you could really go in with this team, because you have the pieces. You have what you kind of need to go forward and make a run at the championship, and they just keep falling short, bro. What do you see?
Yeah, bro, I see a combination of a few things, right? I think as of lately, these last 2 years, the thing that jumps out the most in their playoff games is coaching. I feel like they got out-coached twice by the 49ers, right? They lost to the 49ers this year. Yeah, and last year. The previous year, there was that clock running out debacle. And then this year, they lost to them again. They did get a win. They did beat Tom Brady. They were the last team, to beat Brady and the Bucks. But did we really believe in Brady and the Bucks this year? This year?
Shit,
they didn't look the same.
He was playing. They wasn't even supposed to be in the damn playoffs.
And they made what they make the playoffs at 8 and 9 or some shit like that.
I thought it was 7 and 9 or some shit. But I think it's definitely 8 and 9, man.
Yeah.
But, I lost so much money on the Bucks. I'm a little. I got a little.
You and me both. Riding that Tom Brady way. But with the Cowboys, bro, I think it's coaching. They got a lot of faith in Mike McCarthy, it seems like. Jerry Jones don't want to let him go. And I get it. He has a Super Bowl ring, right? When you look at the landscape of NFL coaches today, you can probably count on one hand. Maybe they have an NFL championship. right? You got Bill Belichick, you got Andy Reid, Doug Peterson has one with the Eagles, Mike Tomlin. I mean, Sean McVay just got one. That's 5. But like, what I'm saying, Harbaugh. But like, it's not a lot. Like that's 6. I can't think of no more right now off the top of my head. And Mike McCarthy has one. So winning the Super Bowl gets you to that next level, right? And I think they just want to keep giving him a shot, bro. But he doesn't do anything, I feel like, to put the Cowboys in a better position. When it comes to playoffs, I feel like he always gets outcoached. And also, I feel like Dak Prescott needs to show up in these big games, man, like on a consistent basis. I think Dak does have talent.
Healthy. And
stay healthy. Absolutely. I think Dak does have talent, bro. But I think the game plan sometimes doesn't suit him. I know they have Kellen Moore that's out of the door now. So who's going to be their new offensive coordinator? Maybe that'll shake some things up.
I was going to say that, too. Maybe they do need a culture shakeup. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get something new in there because something isn't working. And they have to find out what that is that's holding them back from where they're supposed to be. And, you know, they play in I'm going to say, like, arguably one of the best divisions in football. The teams may not be one of the best teams in the league, but when those teams play each other,
they beat each other up.
They beat each other up, man. So,
you're right. Something's going on, bro. It's like Stephen A. Smith says, a black cat running around that organization. It might be, bro, because I don't know, man. Like
Stephen A. always coming at them Cowboys, man.
God. Yeah, bro. But I don't know, man. I think they likely lose Zeke this year. I think you got to let Zeke walk. I think you got to maybe franchise tag Tony Pollard if you're not going to, sign him. And if you do let him walk, turn your eyes towards the guys like Bijan Robinson in the NFL draft or something like that. Get some pieces. I don't know, man. My thing is coaching. I'm going to keep going back to coaching. I think that's a big aspect, bro. And I know Kyle Shanahan's a hell of a coach, but you think when you see somebody another time, you run up against them, you make some adjustments, and you make sure you get the job done, especially when they got a guy like Brock Purdy. And that's not to take nothing away from Brock Purdy, but I got Dak Prescott, who you just say he's the top 10 quarterback. So if I got Dak Prescott,
you still didn't give me
Matthew Stafford.
Matthew this year?
Matthew, he was hurt this year. I'm taking Stafford over Dak, bro.
How many games was it before Matt got hurt?
I
felt like the Rams looked like
many.
dog shit. Dog shit.
They did.
I know he lost Cooper, but
even Stafford in Detroit was putting up numbers. Like Stafford's talent is there, and he just got a ring.
We could do that. All right, so we'll put Matt 9. You really can't put Dak at 10?
I'll give Dak 10.
We made it!
I'll give Dak 10. That NFC, bro, landscape is horrible with quarterbacks. I ran through the AFC like that, and then I'm like, oh, shit. I got to the NFC. I said, Jalen Hurts. And that was it, man. I don't know.
Oh, man.
They need to figure some things out. Yeah, man. They need another receiver. I think Michael Gallup. They need to switch. I like Michael Gallup, bro, but maybe they need another big play receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe go draft.
It could open up things for CeeDee Lamb too. Like what I mean. Draft a fast young guy. That's why I'm a fan of the Chiefs. But Patty's different. He can make guys look better than what they is. But, you got a guy, when they had Tyreek Hill, you had a guy like Mecole Hardman that you could throw in the slot. And, he could get you 40 to 50-yard gains on 1 or 2 plays just from how dynamic he is. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they need a guy like that, a guy that they could throw into the slot, slide CeeDee Lamb out more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's why I keep going back to coaching, bro, because I feel like Kansas City's an anomaly. I will never take nothing away from Patrick Mahomes, bro. But Andy Reid can lose a guy, draw up plays, right, for a guy like Tyreek Hill, lose a weapon that dynamic, and transform the offense, right? We're not a lot of big plays. We don't have that home run speed anymore. So we're gonna do a lot of short passes. We're gonna do a lot of things to disguise, take our shots. Andy Reid's an anomaly, man. He's an offensive genius. So and you pair him up with Patrick Mahomes, who can make something out of nothing, and that's why that combination is so dangerous. But I just think if the Cowboys had some better coaching and some tight situations, like that Jacksonville game that they played this regular season when they lost that game in overtime, that was a big game. They were still in the running for winning the NFC East. They lost that game, and it kind of just, deflated them. And that was a game they were up, I believe, 3 scores in. Things like that can't happen when you're supposed to be one of these top teams. The Chiefs aren't losing a game that they're up 3 scores in, unless it's to the Bengals. The Bengals ain't losing a game they up 3 scores in. I don't know, man. That's what I'm sticking with. I'm sticking with coaching. I think it needs to be a change in play calling.
Yeah, coaching. Add a few pieces, man, because I feel like that window, we talk about this a lot, man. And this is across all professional sports landscapes. That window only stays open so much. And, sometimes, it closes and you make a move where you can open it up and you get an extension on more years. I feel like the Cowboys window is slowly closing, and they're going to have to figure out something. I feel like the Dak experiment, even though I feel as though Dak is a top 10 quarterback, he hasn't quite lived up to what they've needed him to be, where he was supposed to take this organization after Tony Romo. I think he had that phenomenal, was that his rookie year? Then the divisional round, he did phenomenal. But I feel like it hasn't been, like, what's after that? Like, let's get to the NFC Championship game.
That's what I'm saying.
That NFC Super Bowl berth. And, they have yet to do it, man. Eagles done been there twice, won the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? So,
I think, and they're running out of excuses, bro. I mean, the Eagles, yes, right, they're the defending NFC champions, and they're in your division. But outside of that, if you're getting a wild card, like, let's say the Eagles do win a division again, and you're getting a wild card berth, there should be no teams in the NFC. I'm running through these NFC quarterbacks, and I just was having trouble with it. You should be beating these guys if it's a Minnesota Vikings. Even if it's, we don't know what's going on with San Fran in their quarterback situation, but, like, you can't lose to them 3 years in a row. Like, you got to correct that. You got to face that demon eventually and overcome that. And outside of those teams, like, who are you really? If Aaron Rodgers is out of Green Bay, like a young Detroit team, I like Detroit. They're up and they're up and coming and on the rise, and they're fun to watch. And I think they'll get into the playoff next year. But if you telling me they play the Cowboys can't beat Detroit, a new team in the playoffs, like that, they're supposed to be able to go, we've been here, we polished, we have a top 10 quarterback, we have a coach who won a Super Bowl, with the Dallas fucking Cowboys. Like, let's go get a dub. But
I think they need to, like you said, like I've been noticing you mentioned the 49ers a lot lately. That's been their kryptonite kind of. That's been the team that's been in their way. And I think the dip into the NBA a little bit, I think you take the Daryl Morey blueprint, not as fucking outrageous as he did, but you remember that year with Houston, they went and got Chris Paul, and, they was able to take that Golden State team to 7 games. They was up 3-2. But that Daryl Morey era, he was building his team to beat Golden State. He didn't give a fuck about anybody else just because he knew he was going to be in those situations. And he built, and he didn't get it done. And, that sliding PJ Tucker to the 5 and trading Clint Capella was by far one of the stupidest ideas ever. But I feel like the Cowboys need to start, all right, go back, watch the film. This team has been kicking our ass the last couple of years. What can we do to kind of, prepare ourselves more for that? You know what I mean?
Right.
But I know the dynamics of the NFL and NBA is kind of different.
That's what I was going to say, bro. It's so hard to do in the NFL, right? Because in the NBA, you can go 9 times out of 10, we're going to have to see Golden State, right? They've been a team winning a lot of these championships. And NBA usually are top heavy. The best players, the best teams will win, right? Rarely do you see a team that's really, really good lose to it. Not a lot of upsets, right? But in the NFL, it's different. Number one, the Cowboys need to focus on the Eagles right now, because that's we got to take care of home first. We got to win our division, because if we win our division, likely we can get a number one. Because if you wrap up that number 1 seed, you get a bye, and you don't have to see San Fran win their division, you don't have to see them until the NFC Championship
game. Yeah.
Right. So really, we just need to win. We need to handle home field. And if we get to them, just learn from the past. Right. Because there's a chance you won't run into them, like I said. But I don't know. They need to figure some things out. They got a lot of back to the drawing board.
That's it, Cowboys. Pick that shit up, man.